Affixing is the most complex topic in PSO2. There is a lot of information to absorb here. Not doing so will result in you wasting millions in Meseta. First, let me show you the basic affixing process. I have a Sigma rod that I want to affix, and I have a red twin dagger weapon with Arc's Fever Augment. My objective is to transfer the Arc's Fever Augment from red twin dagger to the Sigma rod. Select the base weapon first. Now select the red twin dagger weapon, which has the augment you need. Choose your augments and confirm. This is the basic affixing process. However, there are a lot of complex moving parts that needs to be addressed here. Let's start with the basic terminology and information. Fodder, this term is used for the items that have the augments you need. Do keep in mind that fodder is destroyed once used. Certain conditions have to be met in order for you to use fodder. First, the number of augments should be equal or higher than that of the base item. For example, if your base item has 4 augments total, only fodder with 4 or more augments can be used. If your fodder has 3 or lower augments, it won't even appear in the affixing list. Success rates. This is a very important topic as most of your Meseta is spent here. Each augment has different success rates depending on what type and rank it is. Success rate generally goes up if you affix your main item with fodder that has the same name despite having different augments. However, this is not ideal for expensive items. Using fodder with same augments increases its success rate to some extent. However, this usually varies depending on what augments you need. Some augments success rate caps with 3 fodders, some only appear with a minimum of 2 fodders, and some will only appear when the fodder is enhanced to the maximum level. Some even have a direct 100% success rate. There is a website that lets you run simulations on augments. The link is provided in description. This way, you can find out the success rates of each item without having to waste Meseta by purchasing them in-game and testing them out. You can also purchase augmentation boosters that indiscriminately increases your success rate by 30% and 40% respectively. They can be purchased from X-Cube shop, however, they are quite expensive. Augment slots. The maximum number of augments you can have on any weapon or unit is 8. An item's augment slots can be increased or decreased with fodder that has equal or higher augment slots. Do keep in mind that when you increase the total number of slots on an item, the success rate of all augments go down. So it is recommended to increase your item slots with some cheap fodder and then affix your main item with your desired fodder in one go. Do keep in mind that, the higher the number of augment slots, the lower the success rate, so it is recommended to stick with 3 or 4 augments, as going beyond that may cost millions in Meseta. Augment list. Here, we will discuss all types of augments and a few of those examples. However, if you are looking for a full list of augments and special details about them, I have provided a link in description for that. It's quite useful when you are deciding on what augments you need for your weapon. Augment factors. This is the most important type. They are usually called as SAF. Each weapon type has a specific augment factor assigned to it. Once the weapon reaches level 35 enhancement, only then the augment factor will appear. For example, the ray weapons that you purchase from Badge 2 shop, their augment factor is Astral Soul. This augment will only appear once the weapon has been enhanced to 35. The augment factor can be used on the same weapon infinite times with 100% success rate. Do keep in mind that the upslotting penalty still applies. When transferring the augment to another weapon, the first time, it is 100% success rate, but the second time and beyond, you will need multiple copies. Affix augment stat boosters. These augments can be purchased from player shops. Even though they are listed under augment factors, they work quite differently. They always provide 100% success rate. Once used, they cannot be transferred again. Stat boosters, they simply provide bonus stats. These boosters can be found in almost all weapons and units. Their rankings range from 1 to 6. Using multiple copies of the same augment lets you upgrade its rank. For example, using 3 Fodders with Spirit 3 augment will make the Spirit 4 augment appear. Some of the higher ranks can even be found in some weapons as augment factors. Resists. These are almost never used, they are basically the same as stat boosters, so no explanation needed here. Status augments, these basically afflict enemies with status effect. Their rankings range from 1 to 5. Some of them affect certain bosses, however, they are generally not taken. Fevers. These augments always have 100% success rate. Do keep in mind that multiple augments with same name cannot be affixed onto the same item. For example, Astral Soul and Luther Soul, since they both have the word soul in them, they cannot be affixed onto the same item. The same applies to all souls, flict, and alter augments. However, there is one exception. Using 3 Arcs Fever augments will make the Arcs Max augment appear, and you can use both the Fever and Max augment since they are in separate category. Now, let me show you the step-by-step process of affixing augments. The base item I have here is a Ray Katana, which currently has 3 augment slots. I require the following augments: Spirit Boost, which can be purchased from player shops, Arcs Fever, Spirit 4 and Astral Soul, which is the augment factor of the Ray Katana itself. Except for Spirit 4, the remaining augments have 100% success rate. So for Spirit 4 alone, I will be using 3 Fodders. Step 1. Increase the augment slots of Ray Katana to 4. Step 2. Acquire the Fodder with required augments. Make sure they have 4 to 5 augment slots, as having higher or lower than that will prevent them from being able to be used as fodder for the 4-slot Ray Katana. Step 3. Affix all the augment you need onto the Ray Katana at once. Keep in mind that you cannot affix them one at a time, so it has to be all done at once. Due to this restriction, you can have a maximum of 5 augment factors on any weapon.